Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned Albino's Dream Journal, Episode 1. This is a new series I'm doing because I'm a vivid dreamer. And I'm a frequent one as well. This is unscripted, by the way. This is more, if you thought Stream of Consciousness was a podcast, it's kind of not, because it's, scripted and stuff. And the podcasts are usually, they rant with, the talking points or whatever, but, the scripted part is, the ad, where they're, we were just talking about philosophy and, politics and whatever, but have you ever wanted to buy sex products safely online? AdamandEve.com has the biggest selection of dildos and black dildos that you could ever want. So, I'm going to try it freeform. I don't have talking points or nothing, but, future episodes we might see what works out. If this is like a disaster or whatever, we'll figure out ways to fix it. But yeah, I have vivid ass dreams every night. And it's because I have an overactive imagination and my intellectualism is not very stimulated most of the time because I'm just playing video games. But this last night, what inspired me to do this right now, I had 3 dreams in a row, and in all of them, I was in grave peril. So that's a lot of just to string together negative emotions. I woke up I feel older. Do I have gray hairs now? There's wrinkles coming in on my forehead. So, to start with the first one, this is one that hits me where I live. I have dreams about bombing all the time, going on stage, comedy stuff, and just having nothing. Whenever I dream about doing stand-up comedy, there's never anything in my head. And it's dumb because, subconscious me is supposed to still have all of real me's information. So, I should have 80 stream of consciousnesses worth of material just rattling around up here. I could just, just spitball some shit. But then it's when I do stand up in the dream, it's I'm watching myself do it. And I wish I remembered some of what I said. Because, it's never funny, but it's always so weird that you could make something out of it if you remembered it after you woke up. Last night I was talking about something about being a crime scene investigator, and I was doing dumb voices and no one was responding to it. For good reason, because it was shit. And here's the thing, in the dream it was a comedy showcase where subconscious me knew that last year Louis C.K. did this showcase, so it's a big deal. It's a global scale thing. You're going to be seen everywhere when you do this. And they had given me the honor of this year. And then for some reason, I had nothing prepared. I even dreamed about, everything leading up to it. A few hours. Just I'm just sitting around in the green room. I got nothing. Judah Friedlander's here for some reason. He's opening for me. And I'm do you have any material on the Aryan Brotherhood? Because you should do that. That was a thought. I don't know why that's a thought, but yeah, if you have Aryan Brotherhood jokes, please go out and say them, because that would please me for some reason. So I was, waiting for that. And then, I was about to go on and I really had to pee. So, real quick, I bolted out of there and I went down into the basement bathrooms, which was a thing. The bathrooms were located in the basement. It's a giant theater. And because you know how giant theaters have basement bathrooms. My dreams are based on real structural reality. So I go in there, and then there's a bunch of people just kind of milling around, because it's a hub area. You imagine a hub world in video games where different warp points are taking it. It was that, but with bathrooms. There were just different bathrooms scattered in random areas. So I went to one, and as a prank, they had turned the bathroom upside down. So, the urinal was on the ceiling, and the door was floating, the stall was just, floating 10 feet up off the ground, and I was excuse me? But then I could, pull it down to my level, because I'm Superman, I guess. And so then I pulled it down, and I just, whipped my dick out and started peeing, which, the sensation of peeing in your dream, I don't know how I don't wake up having wet the bed. When you pee in a dream, it feels exactly the same as if you're peeing in real life, to where it's almost transcendent. You think your brain is doing, your body's doing it, and you're about to wake up to a salty surprise. Is it salty? Is that the word to go? Salty is like cum, so like probably don't do that. A salty surprise would be a wet dream. Although if you pee in your dream, I'd call that a wet dream. Also, it's not very dry. Hey, Cloudy. This is very freeform. This is as freeform as it gets. Yeah. So then I peed, and it was very nice. Peeing is just a great feeling overall. And then I ran back up there, and then I got on stage, and then from then on, I watched my set from the eyes of someone who was like picking up spilled chicken in the aisle. Like, imagine a rotisserie chicken from Costco that had like scattered its contents in the aisle. I don't know if I was an usher or what, but I was just like I was picking up chicken and putting it in like that black box that it comes in that you're not supposed to put in the microwave or it'll explode. And I was just as I on stage was talking, me from somewhere else was putting chicken in a box just listening. And the crowd was not responding at all, as mentioned. Because I was just. First of all, I opened with, yeah, I forgot to prepare for this. If you ever forget to prepare for something, don't tell anybody. You're at least trying to fool people into thinking that your jokes just don't work, not that you didn't even think about them beforehand. Nobody trusts that. Like, that kind of disclaimer works everywhere else except comedy, where you're like, oh, I'm not going to be very good, and then people are like, oh, okay, I'm going to let my guard down and lower my expectations. But with comedy, it's like people just close off if you say that. Like, you didn't even fucking prepare for this. Why should we listen to anything you say? So that was great. And then after the show, I was still like catapulted into fame just because it's like, you bomb on like a world stage showcase. You're, people are gonna know who you are. It's not in a positive way, but they know. So that was basically the end of that dream. Then from that dream, I catapulted myself into another dream where I was a soldier. And then we were all lined up and we were all teenagers. I don't know why. It was like the statutory rape division of the army or something. And so then we all just like, we were like standing in the middle of a war, just like having orders barked at us. Like, okay, so you guys are gonna like go over there and, engage those enemies that are 10 feet away from us. And then you guys are gonna go over there, and there's people in helicopters getting blasted like 30 strong feet away, so you're gonna go ahead and tend to them. So, like, but when we're ready, like, let's not rush into anything. And then I just sort of went off, but nobody thought that I was gonna do anything. Even in my dreams, like, people think very little of me. In my own dreams, too. And so I went into, like, this clearing, and I hailed an enemy helicopter, like an attack helicopter, like that would have missiles and shit on it. And I was waving my arms around like, hey, come down here. I guess I was disguised as the enemy, even though no, I wasn't. But they still just like came down, and I just got in it. And it was like one of the, like, when I say attack helicopter, I really mean like it had the space of like a cargo plane. So it was like a B-52 bomber or whatever. Probably more likely. So I just went in there, and they had like 3 of our hostages just kind of standing in a room surrounded by like 12 enemy soldiers. And I went in there and I just looked at them, and they all just looked at me. And then I was like, and then I just turned around and walked out of the door, and there were no repercussions for this. And then I went into the driver's seat of the helicopter plane, B bomber. And then no one was driving it at that point. He was, autopilot, I guess. And then I just took over the controls and I crashed the plane, like on purpose. And somehow they all died, but not our soldiers, because it was part of the plan. And then I was hailed as a hero because I saved 3 of our own and took out 12 of the enemy. And everyone was patting me on the back like, you did such a good job. We're in that same line we were before. There's still like squad engagement going on meters away from us. And we're like, we'll join the fight in a second. So, yeah. I mean, I guess that has a happy ending, but still, like, I crashed a plane. And when you do that, your heart rate tends to go up a little bit. And then the third dream, I barely remember anything about it, which is a shame because I know that was the most perilous of the dreams. Like, there wasn't as much mental torture, given that I was not bombing on stage. But it had something to do with, like, just being in danger and being hunted and pursued and having to fly in dark airplanes. Like, it's nighttime, but also the airplane is dark because they don't turn the lights on. And it's like a smuggling thing, like we're in the back of the plane. Anyway, that's going to do it for Albino's Dream Journal, episode 1. We'll experiment with different formats to... I think I did all right for the most part, though. Yeah. I have dreams every day, so it could be a daily series, assuming that I have time. And if I skip a day, then I'll just, like, put the last day into the other thing. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's my first time. We're just working stuff out. Like, share, and subscribe and whatnot, and I will see you guys next time.